What's happening, guys? Slick Copies RC. Kind of do a little rundown on the A-Rock 6S. What I'm doing today is just doing a normal maintenance check. You know, you always want to make sure you go over that anytime you're dealing with vehicles. You want to make sure that you have everything maintenance-wise. Today is I'm doing a third differential today. I've done the center and I got it. I want to double check the center and make sure everything's good on there, and then I'll do the front sometime next week or so. Not too bad. I actually had this thing in water and not too bad, as you can see right here. It does have two shims in it, which is really cool from the factory. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take this sucker apart and clean this up really good, and I'll get back with you guys. So before I do that, I want to show you guys that anytime you're taking these apart, these vehicles and stuff, you want to make sure that you have all your bolts properly put back to whatever piece that you have taken off and put into that piece, I should say. And so that if you can't remember, I'm just picky. I like to clean like that, so everything I've taken apart and make it clean as I put it back together. I will be doing that. I'll be making sure that the bolts are positioned right areas. Just because that's how I am. It's a bit different. As of right now, I'm going through the cleaning process, so I'm doing the inner of the bulkhead, cleaning that up. Let's see if I can get that straightened up right there. We're doing that, cleaning that bearing and all that as well. Do everything the right way, take my time, no rush. When you've got a $700-800 vehicle, make sure that you take good care of it. And then just cleaning the outer part of this differential and then just filling it up with oil and see what's in it. I'm doing 30K, running that, and 500K is done, which is, to me, that's perfect for my type of riding experience. That's just fine. And I'll catch you guys up as I go, but right now I just got the back diff, just give you an idea how the and then also for the grease packing. This is really good, the TLR, Team Losi Racing. Definitely recommend this. This goes on the outer diff cup, which is the stock stuff. I'll be cleaning off. I'll be putting a little bit on that as I put it in. And put it back into the bulkhead. And I'll go from there, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Thank you. Okay, guys, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this with you guys. I figured I wasn't going to do this, but I'm like, some people know about this that don't know, and they're maintenance of their differentials. Remember, I'm maintenance. I'm not taking it fully out. I'm just kind of checking the oil, going to pour some away, and see how it looks in there. I shouldn't have to take it apart. I didn't have any issues with it. So when you do these, you can take them off around, but then when you put them back on, I'll show you. It's kind of similar to a tire. When you put them together and around with it. So I'm just gonna go ahead. Now, right now, for my cleaning base right now, because I don't have a pure alcohol, I'm using like a hand degreaser or a sanitizer as a clean. It works just fine. Gets all this stuff cleaned up. The way I want it. It's doing a good job. And I also take a Q-tip, which I do right now actually, and get them around the other edge of this bearing just a little bit as I go. Kind of wipe that down just a little bit. Just dump that in like. And then as I take this off, I'll do that. So I want to see what the diff oil looks like from the factory. You guys will get to see this with me. If this is boring, sorry. Just kind of want to show you guys. And everything I do when it comes to doing my cars, I like to do it hands-on and I use a power tool. And the reason why is because a lot of guys will say, oh, I just tighten it down so far and then I will torque it in. Why go through all that to have to pick up a wrench again and then torque it down and tighten? And then a lot of times I'll see videos while I'm kind of telling you guys this because sometimes being old-fashioned isn't. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? So you're working on your vehicles, depending on, unless you're trying to break a bolt loose, especially these smaller vehicles like this, you don't want to use power tools like that. My recommendation, due to the fact that first you're not getting hands-on experience, you're not taking in the time and effort, you're just trying to rush it. You're trying to get it on, get it off, get it done. And in that manner, that's fine, you can do that. It does ruin stuff at times. And I've seen guys in numerous videos that are major channels like, oh yeah, I'll take it all the way down. And then later on, you don't see them go through it by hand. So I highly recommend, unless you're taking the bolts out, don't do that. Just take the initiative, do it like I'm doing it. Takes a little bit longer, yeah, so what? And you're doing it right. You're also knowing for sure when it's hands on that you're tightening the bolt, you easily tighten the bolt, with diffs, whatever you're doing to repair it or make it cheaper. So something I wanted to share when I'm going through this. I'm just trying to taking this out. I always keep something on edge, like around, drop the bolts in, taking this out, keep everything clean. So when I was driving the big rock, if you guys watch my videos, I'm staying underwater a few times, and I want to make sure that I get this taken care of. And it actually wasn't as bad as I thought, but still, do it the right way. So sometimes these might be a little tricky to pop off. So what I do, let's see, this one's coming loose, but normally I'll take a little flathead that I have on my split. Alright, so there you go. So it did have diff oil, as I'm going to show you this, but it definitely needs to be changed. Definitely does. So I'll give you an idea of what's in it. Is a little bit in it, and I would say actually it's by 20 weight, maybe 30, but I think that's 20 weight. It's real, you can tell it's real thin, so I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to be putting 30K in it. So I'm going to go ahead and get to dumping this out, and see what we got here. Yeah, I want to get rid of this, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. Actually, so there's a way of doing this. I'll show you guys as you're doing it. There's channels. Clip this way. This way. Center right or don't do it once, do it right. Go over again, except for next maintenance. It doesn't look like the seal. Let's see. I'm thinking about it. Seals? Interesting. Let's see. So on these, you got these key locks. You have to pull it out a little bit carefully because these things go in something like. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the top off. Gives me an idea what kind of weight I'm doing, and also look in here, get a better idea what's in here. So yeah, I needed diff oil, definitely did. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this apart, clean it up, and I'll go over it with you guys. Stay tuned. Thank you. Okay, guys, we're back on. Just kind of did a personal cleanup, got all the oil pretty much cleared that I need to take out of there. Alright, so I'm putting 30 weight in the rear diff, so that's done. Cleaned it, then taking this with some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, cleaned up this a little bit, and then kept a little bit of grease on it, not too much, just damper. Just checked everything over, spurs look all good, the slanted differential spurs that are in here. One thing I will tell you guys is when you're taking this apart, there's these keyways. You have to make sure you put these things squared off in the right positions, and that housing's done. So I can go ahead and add the differential. There's our 30 weight. Go ahead and go ahead and add that. It should be at the bottom. And I'll go from there. See how now when you're adding the differential oil, thank you. When you're adding the differential oil, you want to make sure that you're not putting it too high up. You don't. So I'm going to add a little bit right now. See that? Just a little bit. I'm going to let that sit. I'm going to slowly, if I can show you guys, spin it slowly. Slow. You ain't got to go fast. You don't want nothing jumping. But you want to get all the oil and grease down in the diff housing. Just like so. And you want to pay attention to what the differential is doing in the spurs inside or the keys, so that they're all spinning in sync. It means that you're doing it right. It's working. Take your time doing this. Get all the little air pockets out of here. It's, like I said, this is a job that if you're not into it, I wouldn't recommend being in a hobby. You just gotta be willing to do the maintenance. So it looks like that went down pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and add a little more. And it's just a slight, it's a little process, guys. I know that, you know, and don't mind that if the AC running, don't mind if it's too loud. But yeah, it's a process that you got to be willing to do to have longevity with your vehicle. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna add just a little bit more, just a little bit. Let that drop down there. Do the same thing again, nice and slow. And even go the other way. Nice and slow and steady. By the way, guys, appreciate you guys tuning into the channel. Anybody that just came in and kind of fast forward through, this is the Arma 6S. I'm doing the rear differential clean, just a maintenance. Nothing went wrong, just want to do the maintenance. And then go from there. So now, still make sure these are tucked down tight. They didn't move. Because when you start adding the fluid now, you're gonna get, they're gonna move a little bit from the pressure of the fluid pushing it up. Alright, so we're looking pretty good. How do we look inside the camera? I'm going to add just a tiny bit more. You don't have to go too heavy in here. Like I said, guys, you don't want to go too much in there. Because when you start doing that, it doesn't allow it for having play that it should have. So you want to do it, like I said, everyone does things a little different, but a lot of times you'll have issues if you don't properly set it. Alright, so that should do it right there. I'm going to go ahead and slightly push down nice and easy. Keyway. Like so. Do another spin. One way, nice and slow. Nice and slow. We're looking pretty good, guys. Then I'm going to go ahead and make sure the keyway's down as well. I'm going to do that again. Let's see how we're looking. Looking pretty good. Maybe we can put a little bit more in there. What do you think, guys? A little bit more? I think so. Yeah, just a little more. Now, I'm kind of confused on this though, too, guys. I have to look in on this model. We might have changed it. This didn't have a seal on it. And I think it's just maybe they did something different with these diffs. Could be wrong. I'm checking on that. Something I wanted to show you guys. I wasn't too happy with seeing that. If they are, I'll have to take it back apart, put some new ones in, maybe, which is fine. If I have to, I gotta do it. It's okay with me. But it just could be something different with these diffs. Anybody knows anything about it, let me know if you're watching. With the 6S Mojave Fire Team, Big Rock, and TRL. I'm just going to add a little bit more right there, done, and that's it. And that'll do it for that. I'm adding the oil factor. Same thing, I'm going to do it one more time. Make sure this keyway's down. There we go. So slow, smooth, steady spin. Make sure the oil's moving around. Things moving. Looks good. And that's it, guys. That'll do it right there. So now the installment. I'm going to show you guys the installment, and then I'll go ahead and I'll stop it, come back and let you guys see how far I'm doing. So when installing it, you want to make sure that you have all 4 corners of the keyways lined up with the bolts pattern. You drop it right in. Line up the bolts like so. Push in. Now, what I was telling you earlier, make sure you do this the way. I'm going to go ahead and put the bolts, all line them up in there, but I'm not going to tighten it. So let me kind of get this bad boy lined up here. Show what I mean. A second. So I'm going to get them started. So the first thing I want to do is kind of show you guys. Nice and easy. Just starting it. That's it. Done. Do the next one the same way. It's just kind of patience. And then I'll show you the tight pattern I do. And anybody that has made YouTube channels and they do RC, and you'll see this same technique being done if they're doing it right. If not, you'll understand why it needs to be done a certain way. Last 2, just put them in there, get them started, kind of so you don't have a mess. Allows you to keep everything pretty clean. Patience, like I said, at the same time. Oops, not bad. I am very happy that Armor had the shims on here and actually did right. And I knew something was good about that because when I took it apart, I could tell there was no. People don't know what shims are. I'll show you right here. Those are the shims, and there's 2, so that's awesome. And it's done on normally one side or the other, or even sometimes the drive axle spindle or spur, depending on what kind of car it is and how they set it up. And what that does is that it doesn't allow this to have too much play in it. You don't want to have any kind of play when you're running your differentials and you're at high speeds. So what'll happen is it'll cause the teeth to wear out faster, or even honestly blow a diff that way. So I'm doing a starting screw on this one as well, and the last one. Bear with me, guys. Gotta grease my hands too. Or rubber gloves. So place it, make sure it's steady. Try to get it in there. Sometimes it fall in place. There we go. Nice and easy. And just kind of. So I'm gonna go ahead and start tightening this one down. Okay. And as I do that, I'll show you something. I'm going to go super tight, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing. You don't tighten it all the way in until this point. I'm going to show you guys. Okay. Alright, so you're tightening it in as I'm doing it. You only go and just make sure you do this. You're going so far down. I'm not going full tight, just going to show you guys. Nice and easy. Done. Next bolt is crossed, just like you're doing a lug nut on a vehicle. And that's the proper way of doing that, guys. And then what you do is you don't let the bolt seat down in there and don't tighten it all the way in. So we'll go ahead and just kind of do this as you go. Don't go all the way down, but just down far enough to where it ain't fully tight. And then you will process, do the same process in a star shape pattern with the next bolt. Go all the way down. I'll show you how I stop. See where I got the bolt where it's kind of up still? That's how you want to leave it until you get the next one there. Then you go to the following, the next one here. Then that one, tighten that midway, and then start cranking them all down. Start pattern. And that's how you do that, guys. I'll get back with you with the rest. Hey guys, thanks for still watching. I'm drinking the good stuff right now. Good old cup of that, you know what? Sipping on it. Got my boy Stu with me. If you guys don't know, Mr. Stu said Stewie. Allowing me to get Louie on there. He's over this lane with his daddy. Chilling. Helping me out. So, alright, let's see what's next. Let's see if these guys know something. Alright, so the next thing, guys, I already did this kind of off camera. And just so you guys know, I've done differentials, but I'm not in this type of truck. I've done other trucks. I know the concept of it, but I do not know this truck. I'm learning it, and I actually got to say, it can be a little goofy on how they do some of the bolts are. But for me, I think Arma did it. It's cool how they designed this platform. I can understand the process of what needs to come off, and I also took a little extra off because I want to clean other things. Because you don't get to the stuff in here and in the grooves down in here that you normally would go. So what I did was a little bit of rubbing alcohol, cleaned up in here a little bit, still kept slightly a little bit of grease in there. Alright, so I gotta clean down here next, because this seal down here is important as well. I should do that now. I'm with you guys. So wipe that down a little bit on the mesh. Seal. So get a big towel with that, a little bit of liquid, rubber alcohol, I should say. Put that in. Put that down. So, I'm gonna get that a little cleaned out. So remember I was talking about, guys, where was the seal on that diff? Well, how they do it with this platform, and I looked into it as I was studying the vehicle. There's a seal right here, which is pretty cool. You just gotta be careful with it. You really don't have to move it unless you're really doing a full-on replace. There's no reason to move this. You know what I mean? This seal, it's good, it's clean, it's out of the way, and that's awesome. That's what I want. So back to this side now. By the way, when you guys put these on, be careful. If you don't remember, put the fatter head inside to the wheel pegs. Like this goes into the drivetrain. So just want to let you know if that falls out. Make sure you know the pattern. Alright, so now we got the differential oil. So the thing I wanted to share with you guys is when you're putting this back in here to seat it to the rear axle hub, or outdrive I should say. You want to make sure that you, first off, remember I was telling you about the, I can't even think of it now, but these washers that separate for the shims. You want to make sure when you're putting this back in, this can be tricky, okay, that you get those washers too, and I'll show you once I get it in here. First, I got to get it in. Let's get it in first, and I can explain it better once it's in there. Alright, so we got to make sure now, once it's placed in there, seated. Alright, so we got the shims they fall into place because we don't want them not to be yet. So they are back in a groove. There's a groove right here, guys. And where the bearing is, and inside the groove it sits right here perfectly. So it's literally seated right up into that groove. You can see it right there into the plastic out cup or out drive cup. So that's where you want it at. Then the next thing I'm going to do, guys, that is recommended to do, let me go ahead and get something to kind of stand this up a little bit so it's not flopping around too much. Use the bumper. Is what I'm going to be doing actually is first let me get some of this grass over here. Do anything. Alright, so I'm going to be taking this TLR grease. And where did I put it? I just had it. I was trying to get out. Oh, there it is. Take it out of the package. Bear with me a second, guys. Go ahead and take this stuff out of the package. Alright, I think I might have to cut this. It's too hot, so you might have to give me a second. I'll be right back with you guys and I'm sure. So get that out. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to cut the end of this. Yeah, which is fine. Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So I cut. Let me go ahead and turn this camera because I know I'm all over the place. Uh, so you're gonna go ahead and put a little bit of your pressure grease. You can use different types of greases for high temperatures. And I'm going to go ahead and squirt a little bit onto the diff, just a little bit, and I'll show you what I'm doing here after I do this. Put a little bit there, and then I'm going to go ahead and upright it again. And I'm going to spin it a little bit. We'll put some more on. Again. And I'll show you what I'm doing. Let me go ahead and get this thing on the side. So one of yours will probably, what the heck? They're all over the place, dude. So I'm going to get these out of the way too. Alright, so I'm putting a little bit on there. I'm going to spin it. And you only need so much. You don't need to kill it. A little bit there. And I'll do one more right about there. That should do it. And then I'll spin it. So what this does is this definitely greases up the coupling, and it just keeps everything nicely lubricated inside this differential. But you got to be careful on what you're using. Alright, so when you're using the wrong stuff, that's no good. And that's all you really need right there. And that right there will get you, it's got a nice sheen to it, it's plenty in there, and it'll keep everything nice and greased up. And that's pretty much that, guys. If you guys have any questions or comments, let me know when I post this. I'll go ahead and just start slowly putting everything back together. Pretty self-explanatory. Put the drive cups back in. And then I'll go from there, tighten these down, these two bolts in, lock that in place, and then I'll start putting it to the vehicle after I clean the vehicle up. Double check that as well. Thank you guys for watching. Sleek Hobbies RC coming at you. A small idea of how to do, and I'll get more in depth as I go, guys. I'm getting more familiar with the camera flow. By the way, I'm using the Insta360 flow. I definitely recommend it. Like literally, it's just sitting there on its axis doing its thing. I recommend it 100%. It's great setup. But yeah, if you guys have any questions on anything that I didn't show or you're confused about, please send me a message or any tricks. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Sleek Hobbies RC coming at you. Have a blessed one. Well, what's happening, guys? Sleek RC. I just kind of wanted to do the final thing and get back together. Everything went back together really well. Truck, as you can see, I've had over probably at least 10 runs or more. Snow, rain, regular. I don't really recommend to do all that stuff, especially not the rain all the time. But if you're gonna maintenance it and keep up with oiling everything, see I WD-40 everything, and then after that I clean it very well before I put it back. I never put my RC vehicles back dirty and full of caked up and stuff. No good. That's no good. It causes a lot of issues. But yeah, it's back together, guys. Everything went back together pretty smooth. Greased up, ready to go. Gear mesh is good. Checked out everything. As you can see, you always want to make sure you can get that nice little, if you can hear that. So yeah, that turned out really good. And here you guys go. It goes on like so. Which by the way, I just freaking use an epic body that they came out with. Right in and it's done. Clips right in, 2 clips, done. Here you guys go. On a Big Rock 6S BLX. All done up, guys. Thank you for watching. Take care.